Hey guys, welcome back to Dish Nation. I am super excited to be sitting down right now with the original Broadway cast of Hamilton, all in celebration of Hamilton streaming tomorrow only on Disney+. Okay, Lynn, now I want to get inside your head for a second because I want to know when it's a show day. How are you prepping? At what point do they tell you that the Queen of England is in the audience and that you have to, I mean, just take me through your day on a show day.
My show days when I was doing the show in 2015, 2016 really revolved around my not even one-year-old child who was still waking up 3 times a night. And I was changing diapers and nappies and tried to center my day around him. He's 5 now. And may burst in at any moment. So forgive me if that happens.
Who was your favorite person you got to meet? Because I know it was like the Queen of England came and everyone was there. So who are your favorite people you got to meet?
President and the First Lady. You know, it was there was this show was always made with them in mind. How could it not?
And you're talking about President Obama, correct?
I'm talking about President Barack Hussein Obama.
And Michelle Obama.
And the First Lady Michelle Obama. That's who I'm talking about.
Jasmine?
Mine are the Obamas, Beyonce, and Prince. Those are my top 3. Hands down.
I don't know where you go from there, personally. I think that's. I mean, you might as well retire, I guess.
Tell me about it.
Like, truly.
What are your freestyle rap tips for a nice Jewish kid from San Francisco? If you were going to advise me on how to freestyle rap, what are some of your tips?
Don't censor yourself in any way, shape, or form. You have to push past your discomfort levels. It really is about taking down sort of any internal filters and then putting on this filter that lets things rhyme if they rhyme. I used to do it for fun, and then when I started doing it in front of crowds with our friends and Freestyle Love Supreme, Chris Jackson had a great metaphor for it. It's tightrope walking. Like, you can't look down, you can only look across, and the wind will be different and the crowd will be different, but you just have to keep moving.
What does 2020 the musical look like in your brain? What is 2020 the musical?
I don't know how it ends. I don't even think we're at intermission yet.
Oh my God. It would be so angry. It's like a lot of angry rap songs about how nobody should be surprised that we have not come as far as we think we are. But since we're having the discussion right now, let's please actually have the discussion and not turn back from it. That's essentially what the thesis of the musical would be, but it would just be me shouting angry raps for 2 hours.
I'll pay to see it. I'll see it. I'll pay.
I want to be in it. I want to be in it. I'm going to be David's angry translator.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I've seen the musical. I was lucky enough to see it. You guys were incredible in it, so I'm appreciative that now everyone can see it. And did you guys ever have any line flubs? Is there ever a moment where you're like, okay, shit, I fucked that up, or I forgot something? I know you're professionals, but, you know, sometimes people mess up.
We're humans.
We are humans.
I totally you know, you're doing the same thing 8 times a week, and maybe you've done it like 400 times or something. And I don't know what had happened, but I sang the lyrics wrong. Like, I accidentally sang part of the second verse. And then I realized that I had made a mistake. And then I sort of paused and was like trying to like self-correct in my head. And meanwhile, like, it's Burn. So like, I'm all alone. There's no one there to like help me or like to talk to and improv with. So I was just like sitting there with my letter, and I just stopped singing, and
that was terrifying for us because we're all backstage and you're used to hearing a show. Then all of a sudden it's like you just hear nothing and everyone just goes like, is she okay? Like, what is it? Like, because we can't see. So we're just thinking like, the first thing we're thinking like something went wrong because Pips does not mess up. Like, she does not mess up. So when it happened, everyone, like, I just thought, I was like, oh, she fainted. I like, in my mind, I was like, she just dropped. Like, she just hit the floor and she's out cold because we don't know. So we're all just kind of like, Help her. Someone help her. Where is she? Is she okay? Is she fine?
Leslie, do you still find yourself humming the music, singing the music, telling Alexa to play the music?
I do find myself doing all of those things. It's, it's catchy. What can I say? It's catchy stuff.
And ladies, what about you? Are you still kind of humming or singing?
I actually, their voices were in my head so constantly in the years that I was in the show. I used to, and my family, my kids wanted to play it all the time when I was in the show, and I would literally wake up and scream out of the door, "Turn it off!" So the beauty of the film coming out and it having been a couple of years is that it's a rediscovery for me, and I love to listen again. I'm so glad their voices are invading my space again. It's salvation.
Jasmine, what does 2020 the musical look like to you? If you were going to write and star in 2020 the musical, what would it look like?
I have no idea, but I feel like it would start like everything is going down the drain, and then I'd end it with hope and people coming together and people realizing there's things out there that's bigger than them, and coming out of that tunnel. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and there is hope. There's knowledge. There is people coming together and not sleeping anymore. People from around the world coming together and protesting and showing love, and that love conquers. And when you've had enough, it's enough.
Hey, Jasmine, can I tell you something? I'd like to see
it. Thank you.
So Leslie, I was gonna ask, how do you keep that light? How do you keep that hope? How do you stay positive?
How do I do it? I mean, I think it's my responsibility to do it. I think it's my inheritance. It's part of my inheritance in this country. And so I just think it's, I'm also, a man of faith. And so I can't help but hope. I'm so hopeful with the conversations that are happening now for the very first time in my lifetime. We have language and we have the time and with the willingness to have certain conversations. I'm so hopeful with what I see in these young people in the streets. I can't help but be hopeful.
Like I woke up from a dream and I was at the show, and all of a sudden, like, Beyonce and Jay-Z came like after the show to say hi to me, or, oh my God, and Prince was in the, or I had a dream I was, in the show and went to the White House and performed for the Obamas, right? Like it's hard to process,
Awesome.
To this day.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, guys. Thanks.